What's up everybody, it's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the WAY Interglobal 35-watt speakers with and without the LEDs. I did play some music on my phone with the Bluetooth receiver. I was able to get it pretty loud. We got to turn it up to about 88% of the max volume before there was distortion, and there was even some high pitch yelling in there, so that was also a little more easier to distort. Now the other thing is there was not much bass, there was not much mid, but you could still hear it get loud and then stay loud with very minimum distortion, so they are going to be a good replacement if you have a speaker out. Now I'm going to play some music and walk around, see where we can hear it, and kind of try and show you what it sounds like. We're about 30 yards away from the boat now. We're up on the hill. We got it at max volume. I can still hear it just fine. I don't know if it's going to come through the microphone for you, but it's nice that if you're loading up the boat with all the gear from the shed, you can still hear the music as you're loading it up. Now I'm going to fire up the boat and see if we can hear it over the engine. We got the engine at a low idle. Can still hear the speakers over it just fine. Now compared to the speaker that was already installed, this is going to be a Quest Marine speaker. It's got 50 watts. That's quite a bit more than the ones we installed. I think that's why I like the sound of these better, just because they can get a little bit louder. They got a little more oomph to them. The ones we put in are only 35 watts. They still work and they're a good replacement speaker, but they just weren't as loud as the Quest. Taking a closer look at the speaker, it's going to be a black and blue color. You can see the blue behind the grill that is black. Also, to help you out, figure out if it's going to work with your boat or not, make sure you measure out the hole you have. The overall dimension of this one is going to be 5 7/8 diameter. It's going to be 1 3/4 inch deep. Now the cutout dimension you're going to need is going to be 4.5 inches diameter, and then you're going to need at least 1 3/8 inches deep. So that means just how much space the speaker has inside wherever you're going to put it. Our cutout hole's a little too big for the speaker today, but we still wanted to attach it with one screw and see how it sounds. So this is just demonstration purposes. You can see it doesn't quite fit that cutout. Now we go over what it offers you. How hard is it to install? It's not too bad depending on what speaker you get. Either way, it's just a couple of wires. Most time it's just a positive and negative if you just have the speaker. If you have the one with the LEDs, it's going to have 2 additional wires that come with it, and you have to run power to those. Check out how I did it. We removed our old speakers that we're going to replace. Now we got the Interglobal WAY ones we're going to put in now, the Elite. So we're going to attach the wires that are already run. Look on the back of the speaker, it says positive and negative, so make sure you match those up. There's usually a tag on the speaker wires too to help you out, to let you know, or it's small writing on those wires, let you know which one's positive and which one's negative. Sometimes you can look at the wires too. Sometimes they're gold and silver, and you just match those up on the speaker. It should be good. Gold's usually the positive. So we'll slide on our connector there. We'll slide on our negative, and then we'll put the speaker in. Now because we're not permanently mounting the speaker, I'm just going to run in one of the screws. This is a little bit smaller than the cutout we have here, but we can just line one of those up and attach it that way so it stays in place, and then we'll check out the sound. It also doesn't come with hardware, so you have to use the existing hardware from your old speaker or find some for yourself. Now I just ran the top screw in. It's going to be different for all the boats. Now since we're only doing this temporarily today to check the sound, I'm not going to run these screws in. You can see it's a little off from this hole, but that's just so we can get it attached and hook it up and hear how it sounds. Now there are 2 different versions of the speaker. There's some that have the built-in LEDs behind it. That is this version. You'll see the difference from the one we have installed is it's got the additional power wire and negative wire to attach so you can power that LED. Otherwise it hooks up the exact same. The speakers come in a quantity of 1, so if you have to replace 2 like we do, you're going to have to buy 2. We replaced both of ours just so we can get a good test of how these are sounding a little bit different from the former speakers we took out. Well, that about does it for a look at the WAY Interglobal 35-watt speakers. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.